Alright, what I'm about to say, I have definitely said in the past, but I've never meant it as much as I mean it right now at this moment. The DCEU could have been exactly like Suicide Squad. Or rather, Suicide Squad is exactly what the DCEU needed to be. I'm not saying that because it's well thought out, unlike the DCEU. It fleshes out its characters, even in only one movie. It manages to make me care more about motherfucking Polka Dot Man than I care about fucking Batfleck. Not saying that Ben Affleck did a shitty job with Batman. I'm just saying the character of Batman, kind of hard to care about him if he's not Batman. If he wasn't Batman, I wouldn't give a fuck about whoever the character was in Justice League that was supposed to be Batman. Replace him with any other character, I do not give a fuck about that character. But I gave a fuck about Polka Dot Man in 2 hours because James Gunn was able to make me care about fucking Polka Dot Man and fucking like blood. I've never even heard of Bloodsport in my life, and I cared so much more about Bloodsport than anybody in Justice League. And I'm not saying this is shit on the DCEU, just in general, or the attempt at the DCEU that was the whole Justice League thing, or what led up to Justice League, anyways. But it's just so disheartening to see what could have been. And this movie has a lot. This movie has a lot of good things in it. It has a lot of comedy, which is actually genuinely funny. But obviously, it's like that superhero comedy. So if you don't like that, well, you're probably not gonna like this comedy. But I think it's actually funny. It has a lot of really good action set pieces, especially like halfway all the way towards the end. The action gets super crazy. They have like a super crazy scene with Harley specifically. That's amazing, and I can't even begin to describe it. Like, you have to see it to know what I'm talking about, but it's super great. At this point, honestly, I think James Gunn has proven himself to be like the master of just like misfit groups. If you have a movie about a group of superhero misfits, you go ahead and call James Gunn, man. You keep that boy on speed dial, he'll make you millions of dollars like that without even thinking. You just gotta hand that boy the keys, because that's at this point he's so good at it, and it's twice. He did it with Guardians, and he did it with Suicide Squad. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think he's just good at this. And it's unfortunate, because if we had people like James Gunn spearheading what the DCU was, it might have honestly worked out. I was gonna get into a whole thing with the DCU. I'm not gonna do that. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna focus on Suicide Squad. This video is about Suicide Squad. I spent enough time talking about the DCU. I'm gonna talk about Suicide Squad. Just like Guardians, and the comparison is very easy to make since Gunn directed both. He's able to make us care about a bunch of characters that honestly, they don't have that much clout. Like Polka Dot Man, for example. I'm gonna keep going back to Polka Dot Man. He does not have the right kind of clout. He has clout because he's stupid. He's a stupid character, and you should not like him under any circumstance. But then you watch Suicide Squad, and you can't help but like him. See, I've never heard of Bloodsport personally. I've never heard of Bloodsport in my life. I've never heard of Peacemaker. I've never heard of a lot of these characters. I knew who King Shark was. That's about it. I never heard of who a lot of these characters was, other than like the really clouded ones like Harley, and I wouldn't say King Shark again counts, but I at least knew him. But a lot of these characters that I didn't even know in the movie, I think they're great. Even Rat Trapper, I think Rat Trapper, I think it's Ratcatcher too. She was great too. I really love the main cast that they decided to focus on, and I'm not gonna spoil anything by saying that, but obviously in the trailers you have like huge ensembles, and you see a bunch of different characters. You don't have to worry. It's not super diluted where like every character needs its own time. Like, they end up focusing on a few different ones, and it's a super great decision because they're able to flesh them out and make you care about them in such short time. And I feel like at this point, Gunn again has kind of mastered the ability to do that. But also, other than the caring part about these characters, the movie's actually funny, like I said. And yes, it's superhero humor, but there's kind of humor for everybody, to be honest. Again, action go crazy. Last half of the movie is amazing in terms of action. The first half too, but the last half really goes crazy. Also, last thing, King Shark and Sebastian are fucking adorable. I never thought I'd say that about King Shark, but King Shark is adorable, bro. I don't know what they did. I don't know why they're doing this, but they made him so cute. I just need to see more. I need to see more of the Suicide Squad team. And it hurts me because I don't know if they're gonna make a follow-up to this, but I hope they do. I hope they do, because this was great. This is an A+. This is an A+ out the door, no doubt. No, I don't even need to think about it. This is an A+ out the door. This is what superhero movies should be. Also, it definitely benefited from that 13 plus rating, in my opinion. There's not like there is violence, but it's also like they're able to do some things. I can't really go into it without spoiling, but they're able to do some things which are a little gruesome without being like too much. But if it was like a general movie, they wouldn't be able to do it at all, right? So I think they do benefit from that PG-13 rating. All that to say, this movie's great. Just go see it. Go see it. Even if you don't like superhero movies, go see it. Give it a chance. I think you might be surprised.